Wraith King game. It's ODong versus an axe in lane. Alright. So first off, against axe as a melee hero, I would have liked for you to have started with the extra tango, but really the best way to deal with axe is to have supports just completely zone them from level 1. If that's not possible, then just dodge the axe lane, have somebody else deal with them. Like this Puck, for instance. I don't know. Maybe not Puck. It's kind of hard for Puck to deal with him because he runs into a similar problem. If axe is just tanking creeps under tower, or behind the tower, then Puck can't stand there and hit them. Speed this up a bit. Let me see around what MMR this is. An axe is just creep cutting all the way back. Alright. Archon. Legend 4. So I'm gonna assume you're like Legend something. So yeah, just get Wand, get Quelling Blade, and then Power Treads. You don't want to go next. What? Yeah, dude.
Buy! Fucking buy! No, sell! Sell!
Dude, I'm trying to make a video. Fuck off. Alright. So, what you want to do against axe, or really any hard lane, is you go within 500 range of the creeps, and you right click on the enemy hero and you pull back. That draws creep aggro. It'll get them closer to you, so you'll be able to last it without taking as much harass. See, whenever you're walking up to these creeps, you're under threat of getting called and taking some damage from spin here.
You should have got crit.
Shut up, man. You should have leveled crit instead of Wraith Fire Blast, though, considering you don't have a lot of kill threat against axe just with the disruptor.
Also, you should be using it when it's full body.
Man, shut up. It's my fucking video.
What's your favorite flavor of crayons?
Come on, man. I'm gonna have to fucking do this over if you keep talking. Blades of Attack. I don't know about this. This is pretty questionable. You should be going for some extra regen into Power Treads, I think, in this lane. Especially now that you're also getting dumpstered by the Nature's Prophet. Yeah, so you're fairing yourself a salve and a TP scroll. You should be fairing yourself some extra tangos as well. You really need to have those boots. Like, you could have boots instead of these Blades of Attack already. The fact that Axe has boots and you don't is really fucking you up here. Yeah, definitely would have liked to see some, like, maybe even like 2 sets of extra tangos. has now used a salve, still not full HP, and they're just going to harass you out of lane again. You really want to stay in lane as much as possible, even if you're not getting like a lot of CS. You really want to get those levels, and I mean, you're getting fine levels, but you've already had to go back to base twice, and you could have not went back to base even once if you were buying boots as well as extra tangos and shit. And now you're even using Shrine, which isn't very efficient. At least in this situation, when you could have just been topped off with the tangos and the boots. The number one thing is definitely, and now you're even getting you're still not getting boots. Like, this lack of boots is really hurting you, especially since you know, 50 move speed. Maybe you don't. Maybe it doesn't appear on the surface that it's helping you farm the 50 move speed, but preventing yourself from dying, that's farming. And the ability to go from camp to lane and back much faster is going to increase the amount of CS that you get. Yeah, you're really undervaluing treads here. The way that you need to look at power treads is it's boots, right? But not only is it boots, it's also an ultimate orb and a glove of haste with 5 extra attack speed. So it's pretty much for 950 gold extra on top of the brown boots, you're getting 3,000 gold worth of value. And now that axe is finally dead, you could have just gone to the side shop and got these boots. I feel like I sort of covered what you wanted to know. Like, pretty much, if you were doing what I said you should have been doing, this game would look completely different right now. So, how about I find a high-level game where it's Wraith King against an axe. Let me see if I can do that. I don't really play Wraith King that much, so I can't really give you an example from one of my games, so I'm going to have to go on Open Dota and go to the top Wraith King players and find a game versus Axe. Although there might not be that much to say about it, because the supports will probably be zoning Axe from level 1. So I don't know how much you'll be able to get out of a replay like that. Yeah, the first guy, the top ranked guy, hasn't played against Axe in a month. So now I'm going to the second top ranked guy. Maybe I should have done this beforehand. $17 ago. It has to be in the last 14, so I can look at the replay. Third guy. Axe just isn't a very popular hero at high levels right now. Month ago. Fourth guy. Month ago. Fifth guy. Month ago. 6. I'm just going to stop talking until I find one. This is even harder to find than I expected, actually. I'm already on number 11. I'm not giving up. There's gotta be 3 days ago. We lucked out. Okay. And he might, by the way, he might not even be laning against the Wraith, the Axe as Wraith King, so keep that in mind as well. Sometimes these high-level players will put Axe in a solo safe lane or a solo mid against a melee hero. I mean, against Axe, even if you're 1v1, you, sure you lose the lane, but as Wraith King you've got so much sustain, and with the creep aggro trick, I'll show you an example of a creep aggro. After we look at this, and it looks like it's a... It looks like it is an offlane axe. And See, their way of dealing with it is spamming stun as much as possible, plus a Sky Wrath. So let's see what happens. And they do have a Pudge as well. So Axe should get absolutely nothing out of this lane, but let's see what happens. He can't even do the creep wave pull. I've got no idea why he picked Axe. Yeah, see. Can't even get XP. Can't even put his ward down. Enchantress comes up. Now they're dual laning, so we'll be able to. And Axe still gets. It's just getting dumped through here. See? That's what happens when you have a strong support against Axe. You just can't do anything. And this Enchantress is carrying the fuck out of this Axe lane right now. Oh, another thing, if you do, in your future Wraith King games versus Axe, have a support who's able to zone, don't ever push the creep wave more than necessary, because Axe, this creep wave shouldn't be right here. It should be like right here, and then Axe can't even walk up into experience range. And now they've got 4 fucking heroes against Axe. Yeah, the way you deal with Axe is just don't let him have a lane, because Axe really doesn't have any business being in the game of Dota 2 in the current meta. Alright, now we've got some 1v1 action. Let's see how he deals with it. He just walks in and takes 5,000 fucking damage. Okay. Alright, maybe he won't make that mistake twice, hopefully. Now what? He's saying, come back, you fuckers. Now Sky Wrath is getting fucking dumpstered. So, look at his items. He's got boots, he's got a wand. He's going for the power treads, but he's just getting rotated on even more than the axe was at the beginning. Wraith King does win this game. Just AFK. Just doesn't give a fuck. Disconnected. Jesus Christ. Alright. The action resumes. So you notice how even though this Wraith King is getting this dumpstered, he still has more CS. And that's because Axe pushes the lane. And he can farm around your tower. Yeah. But you weren't getting rotated on like this. You were just solo against the Axe. So what to take out of this? Keep the wave back, build power treads so you can farm under tower better, and level your level your stun, because against Axe your skeletons only make Axe stronger, you know, if you ever summon them. he's just using it to finish off the creep. These two camps here. Let's see if these skeletons beat this camp. Or just helping them out. Nice hook. Yeah, the best way to deal with Axe, just kill him in the early game before he has any items. Don't let him get XP, keep the wave back, but he's pushing in the wave now because he's getting rotated on so hard that he just wants the wave to be pushed out as much as possible so he can rotate into the jungle and get some additional farm. Now, he just needs to leave this lane at this point. There's another way to deal with Axe. Leave the lane, go somewhere else. And that can be, if you have a better matchup, go to the enemy, like go to your off lane and farm here. But since Wraith King is such a fast jungler and this tower's already dead and there is a Slardar, Wraith King is actually sacrificing his own farm by jungling and letting the Slardar farm this. Alright, I'll look through a couple more people's profiles and see if it's possible for me to find any more games of Wraith King versus Axe. Just a couple more though. Since last time it took me like, I don't even know how many. A month ago. Months. I'll just go through all the ones that I have open already. I opened a bunch of them. Eight hours ago, 5 days ago, 11 days ago, and he lost all three. But he's got a good KDA, so I don't know, it's possible that the enemy team just helped out Axe a bunch. Let's just, since there's three of them, I'll go through all of them real quick and just show you how he plays the lane. So he's opting. Wraith King was a mango here this day. It looks like. Looks like he's actually going for the phase boots. And oh, here's okay, this is the same lane setup that you had earlier. It's Disruptor Wraith King versus Axe. So these guys, they contest the bounty run. And they're just immediately going to go on Axe. Level 1, doesn't have call yet, doesn't have the 50 armor. And they're able to do a lot of damage, and they're going to end up killing him, I'm pretty sure. Unless Unless Axe pulls off some grade A jukes. And it looks like he actually did pull off the grade A jukes. And now, already this lane is pushing into Axe. He isn't like... This Wraith King isn't going to like that. So they're going to try to zone Axe off of the tower. They're going to try to kill Axe, have the tower kill the creeps, and have the lane pull back. They don't want to give the Axe this XP. And it looks like he's just going to deny every creep to keep the lane back. But they have to dive the Axe here. If they don't, then the Axe gets so much out of this that it's unbelievable. In fact, Axe does get level 2 off of this. So he's just, it looks like his supports aren't going to pull. He's just going to try to deny the creeps to get it back. Now that there's 2 range creeps, the lane is going to naturally push into the Wraith King's favor. And the only reason Axe has anything at all in this lane right now is because they fucked up. Pretty badly, actually. Yeah, this shouldn't be happening at all. Now Axe is going to start creep skipping. Okay, he's not. Maybe he's farming the small camp. No, he actually pulled his lane. He pulled the big camp into his wave. Now it's going to push towards him. He can farm this camp. He got one of the creeps. Denied a creep to Wraith King. And now he's going to get that full wave of XP and gold. Alright, so he right-clicked the Axe and then immediately started walking back. And that enabled him to get that CS without taking any harass from the Axe, without any threat of the Axe calling him. And he does go for the phase boots. I assume just for that extra movement speed, just so he doesn't get fucked up by Axe. But I've seen people favoring phase boots on Wraith King sometimes. He's just pretty slow. 350. Press phase boots, and he's going a lot faster. Gets lucky with the crit there. So phase boots, it's more of a fighting item than a farming item, you know. Power treads. That's just you know, you get extra attack speed, you get extra stats. That's just your standard creep hitting item. And he actually trades his ultimate for Axe. I'm honestly not sure if that's worth it. How much gold did he get out of that? 283. Yeah, that's not worth it, because now if he dies from getting ganked and he doesn't get away and he dies, he's going to lose out on more than 283 gold. But maybe he's taking into account that by killing Axe and trading his ult for Axe's death, he's and there's the phase boots doing work there. He's he's delaying Axe's items by doing that. And delaying Axe's level 6. So he's just baiting the Axe in, stunning the axe when there's only like one creep hitting him. I wonder if the axe kills this iron branch. I'm only gonna watch a little bit more of this. Yeah, forget what I said about the power treads earlier. Against Axe, I guess against Axe and TA you want phase. Like, against TA, if you get slowed by a trap, you can phase boot and go faster. And kiter. So notice how he got kind of dumpstered by Axe, but he still has a 10-minute armlet. Phase boots wand, and that's just because he's good at the game. So, you know. All right, now that Axe has left the lane and he knows this, he's just going to shove in the lane as fast as he possibly can. And plus, there's a catapult here. And, you know, Wraith King, he's not going to be doing a lot of tower pressure. He's not going to want to do tower pressure without the catapult. Pretty much any safe lane hero. What you're going to want to do is time your tower pushes with the catapult. So if the lane's just going really well at 5 minutes and you're, you know, a couple levels ahead of the offlaner and you've got a couple basic items, then what you're going to want to do at 5 minutes when that catapult spawns, even before that, like right before the catapult spawns, when it's approaching 5 minutes, you just want to push in that wave and have your supports with you and just dive them under tower, prevent them from pulling the creeps off the tower, and every single time that catapult hits the tower, it's doing 50 damage. So a lot of times you can actually just get the tower at 5 minutes doing that. But if you can't get the tower then at 5 minutes, then, you know, once the catapult dies, just keep the wave back until 10 minutes and do it again, unless you're needed somewhere else. Like if they're diving top, you TP up there. If they're diving mid, TP there. Especially on Wraith King, you're a carry that has a stun, and is actually pretty good in the early game with his stun that also does a 20% slow and, you know, like a 130 damage. It's pretty good stun. Definitely turn fights. Alright, let's see what he does. He's just jungling. So he's got his Blink Dagger now. He's just being efficient, farming his way back to base, it looks like. There's no shrine to use to get him up to full HP. And it looks like he's not even going to go for full HP. He's just going to... Did he fairy himself a salve or something? Buried himself a clarity and a TP, or and his blink. And now he's just going to shove in mid because bottom's getting shoved in. But the laning stage is over. That's enough.